Malik Gardner knows well the promise and the peril of biking in Chicago. The 23-year-old rides about 20 miles a day to and from his job at a bike shop in Woodlawn. He also worked as a bike messenger, a job that led to the crash that nearly killed him. In 2015, a truck smashed into Gardner as he rode in the West Loop.
I got hit by something and I woke up in the hospital and I couldn't walk. I couldn't move from the waist down. My pelvis was fractured. I couldn't walk for about a month. I was really injured, traumatized.
Chicago's efforts to make the city more bike-friendly for riders like Gardner are also aimed at making it safer.
You know, Chicago has really been doing more than just about any other city in terms of promoting biking, building protected bike lanes like the one that we're standing next to right here on Dearborn.
Jim Merrill works for the Active Transportation Alliance, a group that advocates for bikers in Chicago.
These protected bike lanes with actual physical separation have been proven in Chicago and elsewhere to really improve the safety of folks on bicycles.
The city has now built more than 100 miles of bike lanes costing about $13 million. Nearly 90 miles have some kind of buffer from other traffic, and about 20 miles are protected by barriers.
It's helping because it designates a place for the cyclists to be on the road. And that designated place should be aware for the motorists.
The city says barriers are making a difference. At this one on 55th Street in Hyde Park, crashes are down by a third since it was built in 2012. But the bike lanes have also led to a backlash from drivers. They mean less room for cars and trucks. Tribune columnist John McCarran says many of the bike lanes are poorly designed.
We're just grabbing a vehicle lane, painting it green, putting some rubber, hose barriers between it and the cars and calling it a bike lane. But what about the 98% who are still commuting in their cars and have just lost a lane?
About 18,000 Chicagoans now commute to work on bikes. That's only about 2% of all commuters, but triple the number of bikers in 2000. And that surge has led to tension, if not bitterness, among bikers, drivers, and pedestrians.
People need to be a lot more mindful, not just bikers, but also the drivers themselves and the walkers. Yeah, we all walk around with earbuds in, and that's very dangerous, so you just got to pay attention.
Well, it's good for the city, but there seems to be a lack of concern or safety on the bikers themselves. Even today, I was driving to work, and there was one young woman just biking, and she just went through every red light, every stop sign, and in between cars indiscriminately, and it was scary for her.
These memorial ghost bikes scattered around the city are vivid reminders of how dangerous it can be to ride a bicycle in Chicago. This one in Roscoe Village is in honor of 23-year-old Anastasia Kondrasheva. She was the 6th cyclist killed in Chicago this year. Accidents involving bikers in Chicago have jumped 28% since 2005. On average, 6 bikers are killed and 1,500 injured every year in Chicago. And traffic enforcement of cyclists is spotty. Between 2006 and 2015, Chicago police issued only 410 citations for bikers running red lights, or 43 tickets a year on average.
Just as a practical and logistical matter, if I'm a police officer working traffic and I'm have my eyes on a certain intersection, to stop a cyclist who has no registration, who has no license, and to write him a ticket, it seems to me would be sort of a troublesome logistical problem for the officer.
In Chicago, bikers don't need to pass an elementary rules of the road test, apply for a license, or register their bikes. Proposals to require registration and a $25 fee have hit a brick wall at City Hall.
I think that cyclists should be educated and trained and have to meet certain standards, sort of the rules of the road test.
But cycling advocates oppose any licensing or registration in Chicago.
It would be very costly to implement. The money that a licensing program would bring in wouldn't really cover the cost of the program itself. And we think it's better to focus on things that are proven to work like education programming in our schools, enforcement of the traffic laws, and building out that infrastructure that's safe and easy to use for everybody.
City planners agree that the benefits of cycling, reducing congestion, improving air quality, and encouraging exercise far outweigh the costs of building a bike-friendlier city. But as tensions rise between bikers and drivers, veteran cyclist Malik Gardner has some common sense advice for both.
Just be aware. Be aware that there are a lot of cyclists in the world and they're out there every single day, even if it's cold, even if it's raining. You know, just to be aware, and acknowledgement is one of the main keys for safety out there. Acknowledge each other. Acknowledge each other.